Good morning. Good morning, everyone. I hope everyone's doing great today. I woke up to some text messages. Ooh. So I know this probably won't go out because I didn't give it like the live long enough to spread it out there, but it's okay. We're going to cover this and get into these hooves, as Blank Screen calls it. Oh, boy. I just can't. Yeah, 2 years old. Oakley is 2 years old. She was bashing you. I don't know about that. I didn't listen to her live. I just received a couple emails with clips about Oakley and someone from people who knew I was covering Oakley and keeping an eye on her case. And I'm very thankful that they sent those emails. And my heart just dropped when I heard that she wants to go out to Oklahoma and cover this. And, I don't have any right to tell someone who they can and cannot cover, nor would I. And I shouldn't say it like that, but spreading Oakley's name and information is a great thing. But there are going to be several of us watching because I can't do the lies and misinformation in her case. It's not fair to her. The family and friends were on yesterday. Yeah, she does. I hope the family is very aware of these people and their intentions and what they do. Her dad just breaks my heart. I'll have to go back and listen to that, Peppermint. Thank you. You changed your avatar, so I didn't recognize you at first. Um, it's deeper than that, Cash. It's a lot deeper than what I even shared in that video. There's a lot of things before he was arrested the first time, and there's been several things since that I did not cover in that video. But yeah, it's a little summary timeline of events. Good morning, Mona Lisa. Good morning, Sarah and Peppermint. Madness Hatter. Good morning. Yeah, I'll have to reach out to her, Peppermint. I am in contact with search some of the searchers in Indiana, but I don't reach out to families. Mhm. But we'd love to have if they want to, come and I had a searcher contact me after my video, and that's how I'm in contact with them. But we'd love to let the family know that we're helping, we're spreading awareness and those sorts of things. So, absolutely. Good morning, Karma. I believe Savage has a video that can be forwarded to the local police. Okay. Okay. Well, hey, that is something, right? Hang on 1 second. I got a message from my husband. I need to check real quick. Sorry. He cracks me up. Okay. Tomorrow's our anniversary. 23 years tomorrow. The baby dolls are scared. What baby dolls? I don't know what you're talking about, Wild Violet. Oh, JLR with his doll. Okay, sorry. That took me that took me longer than it should have. Sorry. I get what you're saying. Thank you, Liz. Thank you. Mhm. Alright, so I'm gonna play through the video that I did on Oakley, just so we have the facts, because everything in here is just the facts, right? And I know these videos don't get as much attention as other things. And finally, we're starting to see some traction with Oakley's case. It's been so long, but people are picking it up, and that's what we want. We want the spread of awareness. I've seen some big creators cover her, and I've seen some small creators cover her, and I'm just thankful for every creator that covers her. Even even the hooves on the ground, if they do it justice and with truth and just stick to the facts. And I we don't need another Quentin Simon situation in Oakley's case. Her father doesn't need that. Her family doesn't need that. So let's just play this so we know what's going on. And hello to everyone still coming in. Good morning. Make sure I'm on normal speed. Oh, I was slowed down from yesterday.
Hey y'all, I want to tell you about the case of Miss Oaklee Mae Snow. Oaklee was reported missing on January 19th, 2023, in Cromwell, Oklahoma by her biological father. She was possibly last seen on February 9th, 2023, in Indianapolis, Indiana. And we'll get into those particulars in a second. Oaklee is 2 years old. She's about 2 feet 2 inches tall and weighs 35 pounds. She has brown hair and blue eyes. She may be anywhere from Oklahoma, Indiana, North Carolina, or Colorado. The Indianapolis Star released this timeline based on police reports and court records. On November 7th, 2022, the district court in Okfuskee County, Oklahoma, files for a warrant of arrest for Rowan Waters on charges of child abuse. Police allege Waters struck Oaklee in the face, causing trauma to her mouth and lips. Now, Rowan Waters is the boyfriend of Oaklee's biological mom, Madison Marshall. On January 19th, 2023, Oaklee's father, Zachary Snow, reports that the 2-year-old and her 7-month-old brother, Colton, were taken by their mother, Madison Marshall, from his home in Cromwell, Oklahoma. He told the Seminole County Sheriff's Office that Marshall and Waters took the children without authorization and likely fled to Indiana, where Waters has family. After learning of the abduction, the Okfuskee County Sheriff's Office entered the children into the National Crime Information Center database as missing. The exact date isn't known, but sometime in late January or early February, Waters, Marshall, Oaklee, and Colton arrive in Indianapolis. Waters' mother allows them to stay in a home she owns on Albany Street, near the intersection of East Troy and Madison Avenues, south of downtown Indianapolis. She bought them baby formula and supplies to assist with caring for the kids. During this time, Waters' sister visits the home and sees bruising on Oaklee's legs. The sister confronts the couple, who get angry and ask her to leave. On February 9th, Waters' mother gets a call from a guy named Chad telling her that Waters and Marshall left Colton alone with him, asking her to come get the baby. She arrives and then calls Waters' sister to care for the child. When asked why they left the baby alone, Waters tells his sister it's because Oaklee hurt her head bouncing on a ball and needed emergency care. The sister saw Waters and Marshall return to the house as she was leaving. She did not see Oaklee and did not try to speak with the couple. Later that night, the sister reports to the Department of Children's Services that Waters and Marshall left Colton alone at the home because they needed to take Oaklee to the hospital. Witnesses later tell police they saw the couple leaving the house with what looked like a child wrapped in a blanket, and that the child did not appear to be moving, talking, or crying. Law enforcement in Oklahoma report that the house that Colton was left in was a known crack house. On March 3rd, the Greenwood Village Police Department in Colorado arrests Waters on an outstanding warrant after responding to a complaint about occupants of a Best Western hotel. Investigators learned Marshall was staying at the hotel but was not there when police arrived. There were no signs that children were ever at the hotel. Waters told investigators he, Marshall, and the 2 children left Oklahoma in his blue Dodge Durango and traveled to a trap house in Indianapolis to use drugs. He said they abandoned Colton at the house in Indianapolis before leaving for Colorado. His sister picked up the infant and turned him over to the Department of Children's Services. Waters told investigators he was unable or unwilling to tell police Oakley's location. During jail calls to his mother, Waters said he helped Marshall with dropping Oakley off somewhere, but did not provide specific details. Madison Marshall showed up at the home of Waters' sister asking to stay. The sister said she could, but only if Marshall told her where Oakley could be found. Marshall left the home on foot instead. The sister hadn't seen or heard from her since. In the evening of March 6th, investigators reach out to the Indianapolis FBI office, and they request assistance finding Oakley, Colton, and Marshall. After confirming Colton's whereabouts with the Department of Child Services, they reach out to the Indianapolis Police Department's Missing Persons Unit for assistance. Colton's father, DCS, told investigators had taken custody of Colton and likely returned to Oklahoma. On March 7th, Indianapolis police serve a search warrant at the house on Albany Street in Indianapolis. It's unknown what, if anything, was found during that search. On March 8th, shortly after 3 p.m., Indianapolis police post an alert seeking help from the public finding Oakley. They report the toddler may be in the Indianapolis area. On March 16th, a warrant is issued out of Marion County, Indiana, for Marshall's arrest on neglect of dependent charges. And that stems from leaving Colton alone, well, not alone, but with the people at the trap house. On March 23rd, Marshall is arrested in Harnett County, North Carolina, after the sheriff's office received an anonymous tip. Marshall is being held on an $80,000 bond. Oakley's whereabouts remain unknown. Neither Waters or Marshall are talking. Marshall did waive extradition and she will be returned to Indianapolis. Waters, on the other hand, is fighting extradition in Colorado. Law enforcement did an update that 7-month-old Colton is with his father Zachary and is doing well. Zachary Snow, on the other hand, is fighting daily on multiple social media platforms, trying to get his daughter's face out there and asking anyone with any information to contact law enforcement. I don't typically share Cash Apps or GoFundMes, but this one is from a vetted source. Zachary is missing work daily as he's trying to get his daughter's face and name out there. They're also planning a trip to Indianapolis to do a search and spread flyers. Marshall still isn't speaking. Her father posted on Facebook the other day that she's still reaching out to him in an attempt to get money to put on her commissary. He said, "It's simple for me. Tell us where Oakley is and I'll see what I can do." He said once he says something along those lines, she just goes silent. Since Oakley could be anywhere from Indiana to Colorado to Oklahoma to even North Carolina, the base of operations for family and friends seems to be out of Indianapolis, since that's the last location she was seen. And where the crime was committed, that's where she'll be extradited back to. The crime of leaving Colton, that is. Family and friends are spreading this flyer out, asking people to reach out to local media, and if they have any tips, of course, to call them in. Let's do whatever we can to get answers and justice for Oakley. Thanks, you guys. I'll see you on the next one. Love, love.
So that is all the information that we have currently in Oakley's case. There's not a lot, but as you can see, she could be anywhere from Oklahoma to Indianapolis to Colorado to North Carolina. It could be anywhere. Hey, Brittany, I'm so glad you stopped in. I hope you're doing good, love. But when I saw those clips that were sent to me, and Sarah, I just got that email, thank you. My heart broke. I can't believe. I can believe. But I don't want to accuse because there hasn't been anything said or done wrong yet towards Oakley's case, so I'm not gonna, accuse of anything, but I think this is just me begging them not to mess around in Oakley's case. I don't want to see it turn into the shenanigans of Summerwell's case and the trauma that put out there, as well as what we see happen in Quentin Simon's case. Ugh, that was horrible. We're gonna put her face up here real quick, so because we want to Remember who we're searching for. Look at those cheeks. Couldn't you just eat that little baby girl up? Oh, could have her for dinner. She's so freaking cute. I can't get over how cute she is. So sweet. So sweet. And her father is searching hard. I haven't listened to someone mention another live where a family came on, and I haven't listened to that. I'm going to listen to that after this. This isn't going to be a long live because the trial is about to go on, and I'm committed to listening to that daily. But I wanted to share the facts before misinformation started making its way around. Hey, Tater. Oh, it was Johnson. I try not to schedule. Yeah, someone mentioned up there. I've been going like, this is just because heard that information and I was like, no, 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 please do not let the hooves get in on this. We do not want them in on this case. We don't want them spreading misinformation on this case because this little angel right here, she deserves so much more, so much more. But I hate that I missed Johnson. I'll catch her replay though. Yes, please keep them away. She is such a doll, such a sweet, sweet thing. My ex thought it was weird because I wanted to squish my I always want to just eat them up, eat them for dinner. They're so cute. Yes, if they in the Oklahoma portion is on an Indian reservation, and that's a completely different set of rules if you go on an Indian reservation and break laws or the things that the hooves on the ground do. It's a completely different set of rules. I hope so too, Tammy. I hope that they know better than like, but these families don't. That's the problem. Is they reach out on social media for help, and that's understandable. That's completely understandable that they reach out to social media for help because they're trying to find their loved one. And this one is getting Oakley is getting media coverage locally in Oklahoma, not as much in Indiana, not as much as at all, but there are some outlets that have done a couple pieces on her. But I think, in my opinion, that's where the media coverage should be. That's where the search should be because that was the last place that she was fully seen. That's where the sister saw her being taken out of the home into the hospital. Oh, that was so sweet to her. Good morning, Cappy. Good morning. Hey, Jones, and thank you for sending your peeps over. I'm sorry, I didn't know you were alive. Hey, Jenny. Thank you, love. Yes. Oh, I'm so glad you covered her too, Jones, and it's good to get the correct information out there before these guys. Oh, well, thank you for being here. Thank you for being here. Yes, I truly do hope they find her. And yes, there is evidence that Oakley made it to Indiana. However, because the sister saw Oakley being carried from the house by Oakley's mom. I don't remember if it was her mom or the boyfriend, Rowan, that was carrying her from the house, but saw someone carrying her from the house to the car, and as well as the people at the trap house saw her. Um, and they said that she had fallen on her head playing with a ball, and they were going to take her to the hospital. Family and friends have reached out to hospitals inquiring about Oakley, and there's no record of her visiting any Indiana hospital. And that's why I think that's where this search should be concentrated, is in the Indianapolis area. Yes, we can call them out when they spread the misinformation. And let me be clear, she's not spreading any misinformation at this time because she hasn't covered it. But when I heard that clip of her saying she was going to cover it and possibly go to Oklahoma, my heart just sank. It just sank because I'm already attached to this little doll baby. Cromwell, Texan. Her father and now her baby brother are in Cromwell. The mom took Oakley and the baby brother Colton from Cromwell, Oklahoma, and went to Indiana. It took them a while to get there, but they went to Indiana, and that's when the father, Oakley's biological father, filed the missing persons report because she hadn't. I don't remember. I have to brush up on that. But anyway, that's when he filed the missing persons report, and then Oakley's grandma on her mom's side reported. Well, she confirmed that they were in Indiana, but it was actually the sister that called DCFS and turned in her mom and the boyfriend. But by that time, they were already gone. And they found Rowan because he had a charge for abuse. And there was an investigation opened into him. And so he had a warrant out for his arrest. And they were able to track him down in Colorado to a hotel in Colorado, but mom was not there. And there's no signs at all in that hotel that there was ever a child there or anything like that. So then they ended up arresting mom in one of the Carolinas, North or South Carolina. Let's see if I can find that real quick. And neither one of them are talking. Mom or boyfriend are not saying a word. And the boyfriend is fighting his extradition back to Oklahoma because he's being extradited back to Oklahoma. Madison, the mom, Madison is being extradited to Indiana because her charge was for leaving Colton at that trap house. And thankfully, those addicts did the right thing and called someone. I think his name was Chad. But it was just like, yeah, we can't take care of this kid. So I'm very thankful for that. At least they were, cognitive enough of that to say we can't take care of this child. Someone needs to come and get him. But where's Oakley? Where is Oakley? Yes. Yes, there are. If you go to the original video, my original video on Oakley, I have like 4 creators that had there was only 3 or 4 at that time that had covered her. Now there are more. I'll try to find them and add them to that original video, and you guys can click on them and give them the support, and I'll only include ones that are, covering her with just the facts. I don't know about that because I think she supports some of the hooves. I hope she did, but I've seen her supporting some of them sometimes, so we'll see. I didn't listen to Crime Line and Lies, so I'll have to see what she said about it. Not that I'm aware of, Running Bear. Everything I found online said that the family were unable to locate any hospital that Oakley had went to. But, it is a active investigation, so any of that information law enforcement's not gonna put out, and if, DCFS is involved, they're not gonna put that out. So, yes, I have Burden linked under the original video, she covered her, and we all know Burden, she just covers things with integrity. They did not have permission. Um, I'm a little confused on the custody issue, I'm not gonna lie. I'm not for sure where custody originally lay between mom and bio dad, because in some posts, it makes it sound like dad had custody, and in some posts, it makes it sound like mom had custody, but I'm not for sure there. But he had enough of a role, whatever it was, to be able to file that report and for law enforcement to take that very seriously. And maybe another time when the trial's not going on, we can come in and play through the press conference because there is a couple press conferences from the Cromwell Police Department and things like that. Well, if they go to Montana, that'd be great because this isn't in Montana, but I'd love for them to go to Montana. There are no cases that have been solved by a YouTuber. Good morning, a blank slate. She has okay, so she was last seen on January 19th in Oklahoma. That's when father last saw her. She was seen by the aunt on February 9th. I'm pretty sure that was February 9th. She went missing. Yeah, February 9th is sticking out in my brain. Yes, so February 9th is when Rowan's mother gets a call from Chad telling her that Rowan Waters and Madison Marshall left Colton alone with him and asking her to get the baby. She arrives and then calls Rowan Waters' sister to care for the child. When asked why they left the baby alone, Rowan tells his sister it was because Oakley hurt her head bouncing on a ball and needed emergency care. The sister saw Rowan and Madison return to the house as she was leaving. She did not see Oakley and did not try to speak with the couple. Later that night, the sister reports to the Department of Children's Services that Rowan Waters and Madison Marshall left Colton alone at the home because they needed to take Oakley to the hospital. Witnesses later tell police they saw the couple leaving the house with what looked like a child wrapped in a blanket, and that the child did not appear to be moving, talking, or crying. So February 9th was the last time she was seen in Indiana. The world famous YouTuber, Burden. The world famous YouTuber. And yes, they are both locked up. I'm way behind, sorry. Bail money is in my tag. Oh. Yep, she left the boy at the trap house. She sure did. Yeah, so yeah, and that's what I'm hoping. Since both of the parents are in custody, maybe it'll there's nothing that they can scream outside of that woman's home or anything, and I wouldn't care if they did on hers, but I know she does. She absolutely deserves true compassionate coverage. 'Cause where is she? Look at that sweet little face. I just wanna know where she is. There was no agreement. Okay. I'll have to dig into that more. I don't know. I can't, confirm that. No court-ordered agreement. Okay. Her biological father saw her on January 19th. And he does have custody of Colton. He was able to the Indiana Department of Children's Services called him, and once they took Colton into their care, and he was able to get custody of him and retrieve him from Indiana. So he is home with the father. And I will put in the link of this, there's a GoFundMe because the father, he has to raise money to go from Oklahoma to Indiana to search for her and to deal with those things there and, take time off work and things like that. And it is a vetted GoFundMe. That's the only, or no, no, sorry, it's not a GoFundMe. It's a Cash App thing. It is vetted, and I will link it because I've seen the proof that he is doing these things. He's going to search for her, and he is, putting that towards those efforts. But I'm not, telling you have to donate to that. But I'm putting it there if you guys choose to or care to look into it and utilize it and send him direct resources. I will not, I'm not taking it for him or anything like that. Chad was just a guy at the trap house. They went to Indiana to do drugs. Rowan and Madison went to Indiana to do drugs, and they ended up at a trap house owned by Rowan's family. It was one of their rental homes, and that's where this baby was last seen. Yes, I agree, Casey, crazy cat lady. I don't overwhelm law enforcement, please. Yeah, that's what I'm guessing. She was an accident. They failed to report and they covered it up somehow. Yeah, I know, Annie. That's why we're here talking about it and spreading the facts. If you guys go back to the beginning of this live, either now or afterwards, you can see the entire video. I can link my video that has just the facts of the case, just the facts of Oakley's case and all that is known at this time, because even since 2 weeks ago, there are no new updates on it. Oakley with an E. Good morning, Pecan. Yeah, yeah, that's exactly what it is. And that's what they called it. That's not what I'm calling, that's just what they called it. Colton is younger. He's a little baby. He's a baby brother. Yep, he is. Little guy. Okay, I think I got all caught up. But yeah, we want to spread this out. Let me go to this picture here. So this slide here shows the exact locations that she was seen. So here, down here is Cromwell, Oklahoma, up to Indianapolis, Indiana. We know for a fact that she traveled this. Whichever route they took, she went from Oklahoma to Indianapolis. We know that because multiple sightings of her in Indianapolis. But from there, mom and boyfriend go out to Colorado, and then mom goes over to South Carolina. So she could be anywhere in our country. But I feel Indiana is the best place to look. Oh, I have the overlay up. I'm so sorry. There we go. So sorry about that. So yeah, she went. We do know for a fact she went from Oklahoma to Indianapolis. That's confirmed. So there's not a huge need to be looking, along that way. But then we don't know what happened to her after they left Indianapolis. We do know that mom and boyfriend went out to Colorado, and then mom fled to South Carolina. We don't know when she left, if it was before or after he was arrested, but he was arrested in Colorado, and then she went out there. So Oakley could be anywhere in here. But like I said, I feel like Indianapolis is the area that needs to be investigated. Oakley's last name is Snow. Oh, let me hide the comment and you can see. Oaklee Mae Snow. I'm so sorry about that, guys. I do too. But we've seen it in, Serenity McKinney's case and Cody Bigsby's case and um, Oakley from the Pacific Northwest. I can't think of her last name off the top of my head. Where these parents they're just not talking. They just don't care. It's a shame, but I hope the guilt or something eats away at this woman. I truly do. I will post the flyer on my community tab after this live, Cash, and then you guys can screenshot it from there. It is in this video, but I know that that's sometimes hard to take a screenshot of. So I will post it on my community tab after this live, and you guys can share it out from there. Take a screenshot, put it on your Facebooks, on your Twitters, Instagrams, everywhere. Yeah, sorry, I said South. It is North Carolina. My bad. It's North Carolina. Yes, she was at the trap house with them. That was confirmed. Ron Watterson. And they have both been arrested. His bail is quite high. I'm pretty sure it was set at like 800,000 or something. This is dad. This is Oakley's dad. It was actively searching for her, working very hard to bring his little girl home. This was the boyfriend that Oakley was seen with bruises on after his charge. And this is one picture of mom, but let's go to her. See if I can find her booking photo because mom has, there we go, drastically changed. Drastically changed. Yeah, it's possible, Jim J, that she could have ingested something and instead of doing the right thing, they hit. We just don't know. They're not saying anything at all. So we just don't know what happened. I don't either. I don't I don't understand how someone can look at that perfect face and harm it or not seek out treatment, care. Yeah, I can pull it up. Let me go to my photos. Ooh, so long back in my screenshots. Hmm. Here, I'll look it up. I do know. It's charges of child abuse. See. What is it? Oh my goodness. So I was looking for his charges. Let me just share this with you guys. Let me take her down, her picture down. He was arrested on child abuse charges, but I can't find the thing real quick, but I will find it. But I found in searching for the article or the charge on him, I found this article and it talks about so Rowan, remember, is originally from Indiana, from Indianapolis, and it says the grandfather fired back at intruders. The 84-year-old says he pulled the trigger in order to protect his property and his grandson. He said, "Nah, my grandpa isn't scared of nothing." When Robert Elliott looked out his bedroom window Tuesday afternoon, he saw masked men in a truck creeping around his Shelbyville home. Not only was Elliott armed with a gun, but he was also armed with several surveillance cameras. Now, this article is from 2017, so keep that in mind. This is old. Surveillance footage shows an intruder using an axe to bust down a barn door. A second later, another person runs in right behind him. Elliot says he watched as the I can't say burglars got close and closer to another home. That one always tongue ties me for some reason. When his 23-year-old grandson, where his 23-year-old grandson was staying. Well, my first thought was, "My grandson is upstairs. I've got to go over there because he has no protection," said Robert Elliott. The 84-year-old grandfather grabbed his gun. His plan was just to keep an eye on the masked men until police arrived, but shots started flying. They were leaving, but for some reason they were firing at me because they saw me standing out here. So when they did that, I fired back at them. Shortly after the shooting, police found 18-year-old J. Jajuan, Jajuan, Jo Jo I can't Jawan? I don't know. Dinkins hiding in a dumpster and 20-year-old Rowan Waters in a nearby cornfield. Oh, they definitely know what they're doing. Definitely. Wow. So he was involved in some robberies and stuff. I'm sure he has a lot of Dinkins and Waters are facing several felony charges, including burglary and criminal recklessness. Wow. So I'm sure the dude was just not a good dude. I mean, the simple fact that he was, arrested on child abuse charges is all the proof I need to know that Rowan was not a good dude. Put Oakley back up there. In like Kenny's last video, she explains this. Yeah, there's a lot of failings in the system. CBS was involved. Um, we don't know why he was allowed to be around the kids. I'm sure he wasn't allowed to be around the kids, and mom just allowed him to be. But yeah, they were involved, absolutely. She does look evil, Running Bear. But that's all we have at this time. I'll dig deeper into it. We'll find more out about it. Be diligent and don't let those hooves spread false information about this sweet baby. Please call them out. I know they probably got us all blocked in their chats, but if they say, like, do the research and make yourself fully aware of this case so that you can combat the misinformation. Because I do see that there's a big opportunity to put a lot of stuff on this case and spread lies and twist it and because it is a very complex, crazy case. But that's the point, in my opinion, is it's horrible enough. The truth is horrible enough. We don't need to add to it. And yes, we do. If you want to protest somewhere, go protest CBS. Please leave this family alone. because they're working really hard to find their baby girl. I do too, Nanya. I wish I could save them all. Save them all. Oh, People Magazine even did an article, so that's good. That's really good. But there's nothing new. Just trying to dig and see if there was anything new at all, and there really isn't. Everything in that video is the most up-to-date information. There's no record that the toddler checked into any medical facilities, according to the local NBC affiliate, so they investigated that as well. The sister did spot bruises on Oakley's legs. Mhm. Waters was arrested on March 3rd on child abuse charges and domestic assault and battery in the presence of a minor. And let me see if this has the affidavit on it so we can show that real quick. If I can. It does not have the arrest affidavit, but I will find that. But it was March 3rd that he was arrested for an outstanding warrant on, well, that in Colorado. So when was he? He was initially charged in November with those charges. Yeah, I don't know why he was allowed around that baby for so long with all those charges. Ah, just breaks my heart. Yeah, I don't see. She was arrested on March 23rd. Mom was arrested on March 23rd. So 20 days after the boyfriend was arrested. Yes, he did have a warrant. He had a warrant out of Oklahoma. Yeah, that's it's I can just see a lot going wrong in this case with the attacks and the misinformation. Okay, behind they said the first day she left, dad called and reported, but they couldn't do any. Yep, she was with bio mom. Oh, and they had no agreement. Okay, that's probably why I couldn't figure it out because, like I said, some posts had said mom did and some said dad did. So I was just like, well, I have no confirmation on who actually did. So if the family said there wasn't any, All right. So we go live and talk about Oakley again. I will make sure that I have everything in a nice slideshow fashion for you all. Like I said, when I just heard this morning that they wanted to get involved in Oakley's case, my heart just dropped into my stomach. No, you cannot get DCFS reports, but we can get the police reports. Yes. So anything involving like any child protection services reports are going to be sealed. Yes, and please share out her story. Let me grab the link for you guys for the original video before we go. Ah, let me do it this way instead. And like I said, I will put her missing flyer on my community tab after this so you guys can share that out. Unfortunately, some of the missing poster maybe I'll make a new missing poster because some of them have, you know, Cromwell, Oklahoma's information, and some of them have Indianapolis's information, which is what I have here on the bottom of my screen is Indianapolis's information because that's who you're going to want to contact. Here we go. So this is the original video and it has all the up-to-date information and if we find out more, we get more facts, we'll go live and we'll talk about them. In the meantime, please just make yourself fully aware of this case because we really truly do not want another Quentin Simon or another Summer Wells situation with these bad actors. Thank you. Was that justice? Thank you. Okay, you guys have a great day. I know there are tons of awesome creators out there that are covering Letitia's trial. So that's what I'm going to go listen to. And I'll see you guys around these messy, messy streets. And if you guys hear anyone spreading false information about Oakley, please email me. My email is in my about section, but it's, deets on the streets at proton.me. But please just email me if you see anyone sharing misinformation about Miss Oaklee Mae Snow. Yeah, no excuse for doing anything nefarious. Absolutely not. I don't know about, the second part, if it was that, if it was, the covering up of an accident or something, but just it is scary with the trap house being involved. I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying. So, yeah. But I'm going to go listen to Letitia's trial and I will see you guys around the streets and I will see you on the next one. Love, love.